Imagine making thousands of dollars from a Roblox game, just to throw it all away. Welcome to YBA, a Roblox JoJo game with almost 2 billion visits. The concept of the game is completing storyline that is inspired by JoJo Bizarre Adventure Part 5. Besides that, players can collect items around map, fight bosses, personal favorites, fight other players, and get stronger. But how can a game this popular die? Well, let's go from the beginning. June 12, 2019, Uzuke, aka game developer, released YBA. At the beginning game went pretty well. New stands were added constantly. Along with that, game got more popular. Steel Ball Run was added to the game, aka SBR, which is a chaotic horse race, and the first 3 people to finish the race gets awards. By that game's popularity got even bigger, but that's not even close to what's coming next. Heaven stands were added to the game, made in heaven, and the world over heaven, the best stands in the game at the time, and that gave players a new thing to grind for, because players need to beat 2 hardest bosses in the game, finish some very difficult quests, and get corpse parts that are only obtainable from SBR wins. But SBR isn't that easy to win, because it's full of sweats and teamers with broken stands. Besides that, 1v1s are added as a new game mode, and player could fight for the place on the leaderboard, so the player count just grew. Until August 21, 2021, the peak of YBA was here. By adding very cool skins, new models to everything and new mechanics, game reached over 100,000 active players every day, and the community hyped the update more than ever by giving myths about crazy diamond over heaven. But it never happened. Just a month after the update, YBA released another big update, a Halloween update, giving players the most rare and the best skins in the game, made people grind it even more. But when update like this drops, there is definitely something big to grind for. Jacko Platinum, the best skin that was ever made. This skin was loved by community so much, but only few people have it now. But there's always a bigger fish in the sea. Devil Sea Moon, the rarest and the most valuable skin in the game's history. The reason why it is so rare is that the only way to obtain the skin was to use Green Baby, the item that you can get only by completing the longest quest in the game. And getting the item, player would need White Snake, the rarest stand in the game that has only 1% chance of obtaining. And even if player got all of that, luck is the only thing they could not grind, because this wasn't the only skin the stand had. Suddenly, YBA got an enemy. A Universal Time, a brand new game was released. Because of the game's popularity, YBA player count dropped a couple thousands players. On the other side, Universal Time had over 100,000 players, but luckily, there was something odd about the game. Many players noticed that things are similar to YBA, so even the YBA developers got into that. When they discovered that, assets from the YBA were stolen by Universal Time owner, and the drama begins. After exposing the owner several times, game eventually died. But even the YBA community wasn't happy, because drama ended up making developers to stop working for several months, so the player count started dropping a lot. Even when the update dropped, there wasn't anything new, except skins, so developers decided to work a bit more for small changes, and every other update just had a reworked stand, so that led to YBA YouTubers to stop making YBA content, because there isn't anything new in the game. Then YBA owner decided to ruin everyone's hopes and dreams. Eternal Battlegrounds, the new PvP game, was released by YBA owner, but unlike the YBA, game did pretty bad, so that led many players to quit the game, and the game went from having 100,000 players to just 3,000, and those players that are still playing are just beginners. But on July 29, 2024, new update was released that introduced a total rework of SBR, and not gonna lie, they did pretty good, but the player count only reached 15,000 players, which means game won't recover from its downfall. And it will always be remembered as the best JoJo game ever created on Roblox.